A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Super Foam Flying on HJN. And for this pick, let's go ahead and dive back on in to the Super line, or Elite 2.0. Man, we're never gonna let that down, are we? But now is not really the time to dish out any arguments, because the Ranger is pretty much what is the next selection for Super Foam Flying. And I really gotta say, I haven't really touched this thing even since I first picked it up back in 2022. So the thing is, this thing still feels really fresh in my hands. And it does have a little bit of a dust covering on it, so I don't know if you could probably see it, but it's collected a bit of dust since day one. So this is the first time I've touched it in a long time, and I really gotta say, I really do like how it still feels new in the hands, and how I've never really got to talk about it, at least up until the points where I made videos beforehand about this. If you remember from Distance Gauge Part 2, as well as Aftersaught Part 2, then well, you've seen these blasters and those as well. But the thing is, just like with what you're seeing right now, I pre-record a lot of material. Mostly on the cases for how I do like to work ahead. That's a thing I can be rather obsessive about, but there's lots of content in which that seems historically inaccurate. But that's only because I pre-record a lot of this stuff, sometimes years in advance. And this is one of those times. As a matter of fact, today's recording date is July 17th, 2022. And well, that's pretty much what this is. When this happened and all that good stuff. So I bought the Ranger a couple months earlier, and I really gotta say that this exact version actually is pretty nice in terms of its condition. Has some good priming for the most part, but the stroke certainly is not as long as what you'd expect, like a good majority of blasters I have that have this sort of pump action to it. Some blasters I own out there, like the XL Double Crusher, they definitely have a priming stroke that's even larger in size. Of course, there's also the Darktag Quick 16, or even the rival Hades you see down here in the bottom left corner. Well, other than that though, it's pretty much what you think about it. A 5-barreled blaster with smart AR system technology that can amalgamate for some accurate dart seeking power. Basically, it's a 5 dart capacity along with a 5 dart storage located down below. And this is also the first time that I've ever seen hexagon shaped holes that they drilled through the sides of the blaster. So I can only speculate that this would mean you could actually have darts be a little more secure. And well, it does seem like it does hold water very well. So hexagon shaped holes seem to be a bit of an advantage over regular circle ones. A couple other things worth noting is that, well, got some great ergonomics. Almost perfectly molded for a hand grip. Not to mention this. Definitely fits well in proportion to my large hands, as you can see. There's also a large tactical rail on top. Very nice and smooth. If you want to insert on an optic or something, do be sure to do that. And it can also utilize stocks, thanks to this stock adapter on the back side right here. Plenty of sling adaptation points are out here too, including the hand grip, above the stock adapter, and this part, which also doubles as an iron sight, pretty much. So I could say for sure, the Ranger is a really good blaster. It might have somewhat mediocre, well, performance, functionality, but it certainly does hold up a lot better than a good majority of other blasters I've had in the past. And let's not forget, ones I've actually talked about in the past, many of which just are horrendous. So 2021 blasters, of course, many of which just are not good at all. I mean, I can only imagine at some points we're going to be heading into an even worse period of time. Even worse. So, until that happens though, let's just hold out a lot of hope for each and every single one of us, and also ensure that each and every single one of us are still alive and healthy no matter the cost. And with that in mind, thank you very much for watching this piece, and be sure to like, subscribe, comment, as well as follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, well, social media of course, and stay on the Hollywood side to see more videos.